All right, I'm gonna be taking the AC compressor out through the top. In order to do that, you got to remove those two coolant hoses, go into the water pump. I have the car already lifted up on jack stands. In order to get into here, you got to remove this splash guard right here. It has 5 15mm bolts holding it on. Once you get that off, now you're going to have access to the AC compressor tensioner, which would be right there where those two holes are, and there would be a belt going around the crank pulley. But mine's is removed because it broke. It broke because the AC compressor kept seizing up. I got my bucket down here. I'm hoping it catches some of the coolant when it comes out, but we'll see. Back up top, you want to take off the intake tube from the throttle body to the mass airflow sensor. You just loosen it up, pull this part off, and that other part should just come off. With the bucket in place, it's time to get a pair of channel locks and get those clamps off those two hoses. Just squeeze them, pull them back. Then you're ready to get the hose off, and like I said, just be ready for the coolant to pour out. Have a bucket ready or some kind of a catch pan. There's two 13mm bolts holding these pressure lines on. Of course, you want to evacuate all the refrigerant out of the system before taking these lines off. You're not supposed to release that refrigerant into the air. You need to have it professionally evacuated. It is a danger to the ozone and to the environment. So please be careful when dealing with these lines. They are under pressure unless you have released all of the refrigerant. In order to get the second one off, you got to get the first one off. So just get the one up top that's easiest to get to, and then you can get to that bottom bolt afterward. They're both the same size, so don't worry about mixing those up. All right, back under the truck, there's two 15mm bolts holding on the AC compressor down here. There's also two up top, but we're gonna get these two off first. A ratchet gets in here for the back one pretty good. The front one is gonna be kind of hard. I broke it loose with the ratchet, and then I had to use a wrench to get it off. And then once it was even loose, you can't remove it all the way because the frame is in the way. So I just waited until I had the two top bolts off in order to take that bolt out. And these two bottom bolts are the same size, so don't worry about mixing those up either. There is a plug on the side of the compressor that has two tabs on the sides, and you just lift up on those and then pull it down towards you and then move that off to the side. There is a plug on the back, but you have to remove these two 15mm bolts up top to get to it. The bolt in the front is long, the bolt in the rear is a short one. Now you can access that plug in the back, and you just push up on this little tab right here and it'll release, and then you can pull it out. Now it's time to remove the AC compressor. The best way I found to get it out was to leave that bolt in. Don't worry about the bolt. Just lift up on the rear towards the exhaust manifold and bring it out through that hole. So it's going to be coming out backwards with the pulley facing down towards the ground. The bolt might come out. Don't worry about it. But I was mainly just focused on getting this thing through this hole. It's pretty easy. All right, so here is the new compressor. It's a Denso. The old one's a Denso. Here's the little side plug, and of course you want to compare everything. Make sure it's the same part number if possible. There are different types of AC compressors on these trucks. Some of these trucks come with rear AC, like mine. Mine has rear controlled AC. So you want to make sure you get the right compressor for your application. I believe the ones that don't have the rear auxiliary AC come with different ports or holes on them. So my compressor was locking up and I could hear it lock up, I would, you know, accelerate, and it'd sound like I hit a bunch of rocks or something. You can turn it freely. The other one, you can't turn freely if the little holes are still closed with the little thing that comes on there. This Denso comes pre-filled. I don't know about the other companies. They use PAG 46 in these compressors. That's what they call for. So make sure you fill that up before putting it back in. As far as putting it back in, I put that front bottom bolt in before hand, so I wouldn't have problems, you know, getting that in with the frame rail and all. Don't forget to plug the rear plug back in, and then I got the rear top bolt in first. That's the shorter bolt, and it was easy to get in because you can see the hole. So then that made it easy to line up every other hole from there. The plug on the bottom, it can only go in a certain way. You'll see there's two little indents on the outside, and you just have to match that up to the plug inside. Now it's time to tighten everything back up. Make sure you get the lower bolts, upper bolts, go back up top, put the right hose on. Leave the left one off because you got to put back on these pressure lines. Of course, do the bottom one first so you can get to the bolt and tighten it up. There's little gaskets on here. If you're came with one, replace it. If you can, go buy some and make sure you got those on there. I went to AutoZone and got a tensioner. These are kind of hard to get on and off, mainly the bolt towards the frame on the passenger side. The one towards the motor, you just use a long extension to get to. The other one, you just got to reach up in between that. I think that's the pitman arm. I'm not sure. For the belt, you do have to take off the main serpentine belt and then get this one around the crank pulley. Once you've got the belts back on and you've got your hoses back on and the lines are all tightened up, everything's tightened up, of course you want to fill up the system. Before that, you have to pull a vacuum on it and make sure that there are no leaks. This is the high side port right here. I do have a video on how to swap that out for a Schrader valve. I'll put the link to it down in the description of the video. They come stock with a little rubber ball that's pretty much one-time use and will cause a leak in the system. These come with Schrader valves. You want to make sure that those valves aren't leaking and that they are tight. They are a cheap replacement. Make sure that the system holds a vacuum. Refill it. I can't give you an accurate measurement on how much refrigerant you're going to use. That all depends on the temperature and all kinds of other stuff. If you're not comfortable with that, go ahead, take it to a shop, let them refill it, and get your AC running for the summer. Stay cool. But as always, thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next one. Good luck.